for your next level. Now, I assume that you know what like leveling up or your next level means, so I'm not going to go really into like dissecting that. And in my own life, I have been leveling up. I've been going to my next level recently. And really, in some way, I think we're always going to our next level. But in this live, I want to talk about the price of entry and also the key to your next level is within who you are right now. It's not like some out there, far away codes and strategies that you have to figure out or find. The key to your next level is already within you. It's actually inherent in the things currently in your life that are holding you back. So I'm going to illustrate all of this through my own story. So I just launched the Spiritual Gym podcast. If you've been following my journey with this, you know that this has been a long process. It's been almost a year that I've been talking about this podcast, and I finally fucking launched it. I visioned this podcast last December. I started recruiting volunteers in April, started recording in May, and from May to now, which we're almost at November, I have been recording, figuring things out, editing, had to hire people. Like, it's been a whole fucking process. So within that process, I had my own divine curriculum. I'm getting out a piece of paper to write on because for whatever reason, when I talk, I like to also be writing down. It helps my brain process. I've had my own divine curriculum, and you know that I talk about your divine curriculum as like, this is your specific healing path that life is laying out for you. It's unique and specific to you, and everybody has one. And I think we kind of have an overarching one for our lives. You might hear that being called your Dharma, but then we have a lot of kind of micro curriculums when it comes to, healing anxiety or healing from depression, healing from some kind of trauma. And your divine curriculum also comes up when you have a goal that you want to reach. If you've ever done a one-on-one session with me, you know that in our first session, we create the vision, we see where you're at now, and then we write all of the things, all of the stepping stones, the blocks that we have to work with to get you from where you're at to where you want to go. And then I circle that on the whiteboard, and that is your divine curriculum. So my divine curriculum that I didn't really even know, how often do you really know that you're going to have curriculum come up? Almost never. A lot of the curriculum was around perfectionism. I have a long-standing history with perfectionism. And how it used to manifest for me in physical form was kind of like obsessing over what I was doing. This year was really the first year that I started getting visible on social media. So before that, maybe like a year or 2 years ago, whenever I would post a story or make a post on social media, whether it was about business or not, I would kind of obsess about it. I would look at it over and over and over again, and it would be in this very like tight, very contracted way that I was relating to it, really seeing like everything that was wrong with it. And I teach that all of these different inner aspects, so perfectionism is an inner aspect, they all have emotional desires. And what I realized that was what was happening for my perfectionist was that she actually just wanted to keep me from being rejected. She wanted acceptance. And if you know the 3 core wounds that I teach, safety, belonging, and worthiness, for me, this was really about belonging, because I felt like I didn't belong for most of my childhood. I felt different. I felt like a misfit. And I realized, perfectionism was developed in my earlier years because that was the most intelligent strategy that I had to try to make sure that I wouldn't be rejected for something, to try to make sure that I would belong in the group, whatever group that I was in. If I tried to be perfect, if I analyzed everything that I did and refined it, made sure that it wasn't too much or too weird or too loud or too whatever, too cringy, then that would keep me safe. That would make sure that I didn't get rejected. So once I saw that was what the perfectionist really wanted, I was able to give that directly to her. I was able to give her that essence of acceptance and belonging that she was really wanting all along. Take a tea break here. So with that being said, you may think, well, if you've already worked with perfectionism, then why did you have so much perfectionism coming up with this podcast launch? And the reason for that is because you don't just work with something once and then it never comes up again. Healing is like a spiral. I'm not a very good artist, but I'm going to try to show you. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we have this spiral here. I wrote a smiley face. So maybe a few years ago, I was healing perfectionism here. And then, we were dealing with some other things, working on some other stuff. But it came back right to that point again. So I'm still working with perfectionism, but it's from a higher level. And then we do it again. We go up and up and up and up. And I'm hitting against perfectionism again, but it's from a higher level and a higher level and a higher level. So as I was working through the perfectionism that was coming up, while I was not only creating this podcast, but even throughout the launch, like there's some things I'm watching that first episode and I'm like, oh God, or at least this part of me is like, oh God, why are you talking so much there? Like, God, we should have cut that out, or I should have recorded that again. Why does my voice sound like that? Why am I going on about that? And I know that that is how the perfectionist sounds for me. And I know that all of that is a strategy. It's a low frequency strategy to try to make sure that people don't leave me. To try to make sure that I'm loved. So seeing that gives me an opportunity to go within and love that part of myself. When it comes to these parts, they really believe that what they want and need comes from the world, comes from someone else. But the truth is that it comes from you. Always, every single time, it comes from you. So what does this have to do with the price of entry for your next level? Well, the reason I told you that story is because working for myself, working with the perfectionist is the price of entry for my next level. Whatever is coming up on your path towards getting what you want, that is the price of entry for that vision, for that goal. Do you see? If something is meaningful to you, if you have something that you feel in your heart and you want to share, you want to bring this vision into form, well, to be the person that can bring that vision into form, a lot of things have got to get sorted out within you, like perfectionism, like self-doubt, like fear of failure, like inner criticism, like procrastination, like playing small, like holding back, like doubting your vision, like fear of rejection. I could go on and on. I'm just naming inner aspects at this point. Because the person who is at the frequency of that goal and of that vision is different than who you are right now. And if it's not, then you need a bigger goal. You need a bigger vision. If your vision is not pulling you to become someone greater, to become more of who and what you are, then you need a bigger vision. Your mission here is not to blend in and play small. Your mission here is to be a disruptor, to bring love potently into the world with your gifts. And in order to do that, you have to go within and love the parts of you who are scared, the parts of you who are in fear. Just like my perfectionist has fear of not being accepted, of being rejected, my curriculum is going within and embracing her, is giving her acceptance, so that I can continue to take action, knowing that it doesn't have to be perfect, knowing that it's okay if people leave, it's okay if I'm rejected. It's not my ministry to keep track of everyone who doesn't like me. I don't like everyone, so why should everyone like me? I'm not going to be the flavor for everyone. And that's just a fact. There's nothing wrong with an apple, but a lot of people don't like apples. And that's okay. That doesn't make the apple any less worthy. And a lot of people fucking love apples. And that doesn't make the apple any more worthy. Remember, worth is inherent. Worth is guaranteed within the package. You know, when you get the packages, or at least you used to as a kid, that's like batteries not included or batteries included. When you came into this human existence, on the package, it said, worth included. Yeah. You are worthy. You are worthy, and you are beyond worthy. You are beyond concepts of worth and value. Dream a bigger dream. Hold a bigger vision. The world needs your gifts now more than ever. My God, we are at a turning point in human history. And you don't have to be a motivational speaker. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to have a business to have a big vision. Maybe your vision is being so delusionally happy and grateful and vibrating at such a high frequency of love that just, you don't even have to say anything. It just radiates from you and touches the people around you, and they feel that. And they don't know why, but they feel better. They feel lighter just with your presence. That alone is more than enough to make a massive impact on this planet. Just your own frequency. Mm, 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 mm. The price of entry for your next level is encoded in who you are being now. Look within. It's all there. What's coming up? What's coming up is your curriculum. That is the key that unlocks the doors for everything you want in life. I love you. I adore you. I support you. And go watch the Spiritual Gym podcast. Even though I have like some perfectionism shit with it, it is really good. Objectively, I could say it is a great contribution to this world. And if you like healing, if you like watching other people's healing processes, you will love this podcast. Mwah.